Hey, welcome back to another episode of Simple Truth Television. Today is December 4th, 2020. I'm going to talk about an article that someone sent me about some predictive programming that they came across. And man, I never seen it this blatant. I mean, this is just unbelievable. So let's wait for a few more people to join us and then we can get started. I mean, this talk about in your face type stuff. Man, these people get bolder and bolder every single day. Appreciate that. What's going on, Jared? So let's get started. So someone sent me this article today, and when I was reading it, I couldn't believe what I was reading. I mean, this is really like in your face type stuff. In this channel, I usually talk about Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, and how everything that's in the mainstream media is scripted and coded with this ancient knowledge of Gematria. And really, for this story, I don't even think we need the Gematria, but the Gematria is definitely gonna prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this is clear predictive programming. So this is the article here. It says that a 2019 Project Runway contestant named Kovid, who made mask, has people buzzing. Now, how is that possible? How is it that in 2019, a designer whose name is Kovid, think about the mockery, the guy's name is Kovid, and he made a suit which is accompanied by a mask, a facial mask. How is that possible in 2019? Because, I mean, how is it that this designer created a mask when in 2019 nobody was wearing masks? How is that possible? Is this guy a psychic? No, it's not. That's not what it is. But that's what this article is want to portray it. They want to portray him as a psychic, somebody who predicted the future, and that's not what happened here. This man by the name of Kovid Kapoor, he is using something that's called predictive programming, putting the future in front of people before it happens. This happens all the time. It happens in, the Simpsons do it all the time. A lot of movies do it all. There's a lot of coronavirus movies that predicted the outbreak. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how many, but even The Purge, there's a lot of movies that predicted this outbreak. But that's what this guy did, and for this article to say that this is not predictive programming, they're simply just mocking the masses. They really are treating us like we are the dumbest people on earth. Because not only is the guy's name is Kovid, but then he makes a suit which is accompanied by a facial mask. I mean, that's just blatant stuff right there. And this episode was in season 17, and it aired on March 28th of 2019. That was almost, a little bit under a year before the outbreak was declared here in the United States. Remember, the outbreak was declared on March 11, 2020. This episode came out on March 28th, 2019, almost a year before the outbreak. And yeah, he was already designing this outfit with a mask. And nobody in 2019 was wearing a mask. Unless you work in the hospital, right? But so this is the outfit here. It's pretty ugly, but the way we can prove that this is predictive programming is with this language of Gematria, because they code everything with these same numbers. So let's take a look at the designer. So the designer is this man here. His name is Kovid Kapoor. He's also known as Kovid Kapoor. And just notice his name in Gematria. It sums to 56. Kovid Kapoor is 56, and Kovid Kapoor is 56. So, they're saying that he was born Kovid Kapoor, but now professionally he's known as Kovid Kapoor. Really doesn't matter because his name and his stage name, they both sum to the same thing in all four of the base ciphers. And then it sums to that number, 56. The number that we've been talking about all year. 56. Once you understand the meaning of these numbers, this is how you can prove that this stuff that they're putting in front of us is predictive programming. There is definitely a clear conspiracy going on. You can't prove it with just your opinion. But once you incorporate this language, that's how this stuff becomes undeniable. Because all year we've been learning about the number 56 because it has shown up in almost every ritual this year. From the Black Lives Matter movement to the coronavirus outbreak to even stuff like unemployment. Unemployment equals 56. But notice the big list of 56s, right? Kovid Kapoor, the designer, and his real name, I guess, Kevin Kapoor, all sum to 56, like Society of Jesus, like Washington, D.C. Of course, coronavirus equals 56. Think about it, this suit had a mask on. And why are people wearing masks today? To prevent catching the coronavirus, right? Anthony Fauci equals 56. Of course, toilet paper equals 56. I remember when the outbreak was first declared on March 11th, there was a huge story in the headlines saying that most of the stores was running out of toilet paper. Right? There was a toilet paper shortage in the U.S. Toilet paper was 56, like mind control. This stuff is all ritual. And again, 56 has been the big number this year. Black Lives Matter 56, natural disasters 56. Kobe Bryant was buried in Corona del Mar. That was a huge story this year, the death of Kobe Bryant. Corona del Mar is 56. Of course, all CNI is 56, like Pope. Food shortage is also 56. This episode was in season 17. Notice what season 17 equals in Gematria. 56. And notice the overlap with Society of Jesus. And this designer, supposedly he's located in Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York equals 79, just like Society of Jesus. The actress that, I guess the model that was chosen to display his design, because the designer is not the person that you see here. The designer is this Indian person here. This is Kevin Kapoor. But the designer is a woman named Nora Sommerkamp. And her surname sums to 56, just like coronavirus. So this was the perfect person for this ritual. And let me show you guys what this website, they wrote, fact check. Project Runway mask outfit by a designer named Kovid is not evidence of predictive programming. And in a way that's true, but you have to be a real dumb person to think that those two things are not related. And for that not to be predictive programming. Because it's clear predictive programming. But what this person is saying, that's not proof. Like, for example, that's you can't present that alone in a court and, find anybody guilty of predictive programming. I think that's what they were trying to say. And in a way that is true because, this thing about coincidence, people just are programmed with that idea. But again, if you incorporate Gematria, which is undeniable, we can have, if we bring this to court, all the 56s this year, I think a jury of 12 people, I think we could convince a jury of 12 people that there's a clear conspiracy going on. And for this man who designed this outfit, for his name to equal 56, and for the model, for her surname to equal 56, that's just undeniable stuff. I guess, it depends what 12 people they choose in the jury. Because, if they choose 12, you have to be one of the 12 of the dumbest people on earth to see all these 56s that we pointed out this year, and just to say that this is just a coincidence. No, this is not a coincidence. This is a clear conspiracy. The guy makes an outfit with a mask in 2019 before the coronavirus outbreak. And then we find out that coronavirus equals 56, and a designer that designed this outfit, his name equals 56. And then the model, her name equals 56. This is undeniable. So, I mean, I hope the 12 people that they choose for this jury can see that, because that's obvious. But notice what it says in this article. It says that viewed tens of thousands of times, a viral clip of fashion reality show Project Runway shows an outfit with a face mask designed by a contestant named Kovid Kapoor. I mean, just the guy's first name, Kovid? Really? While the 2019 scene is authentic, some users allege that the video is evidence of predictive programming, implying that there was prior knowledge of COVID-19 pandemic. This notion is false. Oh my God. There was no prior knowledge of the COVID-19 pandemic. Meanwhile, you guys put it all in the movies. You've coded the number 56 and everything. There was even a TV show from the late 60s called Room 222. And I showed in my... This is going... I mean, the predictive programming for the COVID-19 pandemic, it has been put in front of our faces since the late 60s. Because I even put out a video which was deleted about this TV show that came out in 1969 called Room 222. And that's been another big number this year, 222. And notice notice this headline. It says that Lloyd Haynes, the star of Room 222, he dies from lung cancer. So this actor, the star of Room 222, he was having problems breathing before he died. And think about what the coronavirus is, right? It attacks your lungs. But this actor, he was born September 19th, and he died on New Year's Eve, 263 days before his birthday. And 263 is the 56 prime number. Coronavirus is 56, right? So I'm telling you, the numbers, the 56 has been coded in a lot of headlines. And again, this actor, he died, look what year he died. He died in 1986. And there was already predictive programming for the coronavirus in 1986. The show's from the late 60s. The show Room 222. The first episode was on September 11th, 1968, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so they've been putting the coronavirus predictive programming in our face for a long time. So it says here that the original release date is September 11, 1969. 1969, and it was 113 episodes. And remember, the pandemic was declared on March 11/3, like 113. So they've been doing this for a very long time. And the name of the show is Room 222. And of course, Wuhan coronavirus is 222. The official name for the coronavirus. And the first episode was on September 11th. And just think about that date, September 11th. It reminds you of the terrorist attacks. And both events are very much related. Because just notice how from September 11, 2001 to March 11, 2020, it's a span of 222 months. So 222 months after September 11th, we get the Wuhan coronavirus, which equals 222. And then we get this actor who was the star of the show 222. He dies from lung cancer, something related to his breathing. And speaking of the show, they even had an episode called The Flu. Just more mocking, because come on, what is the coronavirus? It's another version of the flu. So they had an episode called The Flu, which aired on October 15, 1969. And that was a day with 113 numerology. Coronavirus pandemic is 113. The pandemic declared on 11/3. But from that day to when the outbreak was declared this year, it was 2,630 weeks later, on the nose. 263 again. The 56 prime number. So that's what I'm trying to show you guys, that they've been coding the number 56 since the 60s. Since the late 1960s. And there's probably more predictive programming out there. But this show, Room 222 from 1969. And here we are in 2020. 51 years after the release of the first episode, we are still talking about something that they've been showing us for a very long time. So this guy here, for him to say, for the person that wrote this article, for them to say that this is not proof, this is why you have to incorporate Gematria, because Gematria is proof and it is evidence that they had prior knowledge of the COVID-19 pandemic. And then for him to say this notion is false, this guy's a liar. He's a liar. If you visit his social media, Kovid Kapoor, they love to mock us. Look what he wrote. He says, HuffPost got all the drama and conflama around my post, Apokalapa, whatever. I don't know what that means. Look on the Project Runway. Check out the article where I talk about all my secret rituals, and gag-worthy details. And then he laughs. Ha ha ha. This guy's a piece of shit. And then he says, we aim to keep bringing you fabulousity on an intergalactic scale. Meanwhile, almost humbled and appreciative of all the support and love. Also, don't forget to check out our holiday sale on the website, 20% off merchandise. This guy's a real piece of shit. Because think about how much people have died from this fake pandemic. Because it's obvious how they're dying. They're dying at the hospitals. There's something going on with these ventilators. Another word that I think, if I'm not mistaken, it sums to 56. Let me just verify it until later. There was another 56 with the ventilators, but what was it again? I don't remember, but we've been flooded with 56s this year. And if you visit the model's social media, the person that actually wore the outfit, she posted the article as well on her social media. And she wrote, Kovid Kapoor, you truly predicted the future in last year's season 17. Project Runway Bravo episode. Even the HuffPost, TikTok, and Twitter think so. Stay safe, everyone, and wear your mask. Oh, these people are such pieces of shit, man. This stuff is unbelievable. He predicted the future, the guy named Kovid. So I guess his mother also whoever named him Kovid also predicted the future. Because who names their child Kovid? So, this is why I never like giving up my opinions on these videos, because opinions do not prove anything. But this code, it definitely proves that there's a conspiracy going on. What are the odds that this guy's two names sum to the same values in Gematria in all four of the base ciphers? What are the odds that the model that they chose to wear the mask, her name sums to 56, just like the designer? And coronavirus is 56. And then the episode airs in season 17, which also sums to 56. That's a lot of coincidence. And I'm pretty sure if we bring all those 56s in a court of law, we can convince 12 juries that there's a clear conspiracy going on. And they need to explain what's really going on. And we need justice for the 1.5 million people that have died from COVID. And we also need justice for all the people that died on September 11th. It's a lot of innocent people that died on both of those events. We talk about millions of people that have died in just those two events. Not to count everything else that they do, like weather warfare and everything else, but just those two events alone, we're talking about millions of people gone. And I guess in a way it's their fault, I guess, because they are telling us. They are telling us this is what we're going to do. They told us in 1969 in a show called Room 222. They had an episode called The Flu. They've been telling us. So it's not their fault, If somebody tells me they're going to kill me and I let them kill me, whose fault is that? person told me that he was gonna do it. It was my job to protect myself. But the way you protect yourself is not by wearing this stupid mask, especially this outfit. I mean, if any of you are thinking about buying this outfit, you guys gotta gotta work on your style. This stuff is not even attractive. Who's gonna wear this? This stuff looks like what the hell. But there's a guy in India that predicts the future, huh? A guy named Kovid. Yeah, they really are treating us like we're the dumbest people on earth. But that's not true. So Lioness of Zion says that it just seems like Gematria is not helping to prevent anything because we are not seeing numbers and patterns until after the fact. That's not true. That is not true because we've made I say we because a lot of people in this community have made a lot of predictions understanding this code, but I've made predictions of I've called people deaths before they happen. I mean, I can't tell you who's gonna die, but I made a prediction before that I said a rapper is gonna die. I didn't know which rapper exactly, but I did call a rapper dying on a specific date, and a rapper did die on that date. It was exactly 38 weeks after the death of Kobe Bryant, because we understand what the number 38 means. Dates with 64 and 44 numerology. And you know what's funny? Today's a day with 56 numerology. So that's why probably we getting, oh, look at that. Today's a day with 56 numerology. So that's why this story is coming out today. That's why so many people are talking about this today. Okay, that makes sense. But that's what I'm saying. So dates with, like, for example, dates with 64 and 44 numerology, you can expect some tragedy. Now, are we going to predict the location or who it happens to? No, but that's like saying that the police department is not useful because they can't stop crime until after the fact. Yeah. Can the police prevent a crime? In some situations, but can they prevent every crime from happening? No. So are we not gonna have police? I mean, I don't think we should have police, but fact of the matter is the majority of the masses, they feel safer with police. Have the police ever prevented a tragedy from happening? No. But they do, they do get justice in a way after the fact. So that's what we need to do. All right, the crime is already committed. The 1.4 million people that died from coronavirus, they are already dead. Now, those people who did that, they need to be held responsible for what they did. So Gematria helps us find out who's doing it, who's behind it, so that way we can point the authorities in the right direction. Not saying that the authorities are going to do anything about it, because a lot of the people in the authority are the problem, are being governed by this network. So yeah, so those of you wondering what's this article about, I mean, just another 56 coded article. More predictive programming for COVID-19. Which proves to you guys that this stuff is all a hoax. That's what this proves. There is no coronavirus out there. This proves it. They've been mocking us since the late 60s. How did they know that that a bat was gonna how did they know that? It's because none of that stuff is true. You guys need to wake up. Stop wearing these facial masks. I bet I'm pretty sure there's still people out there that think Osama bin Laden had something to do with the destruction of the Twin Towers. There's probably people that believe that still in 2020. But you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and that's a great point, Cola T. That is a great point. People who make comments about Gematria in hindsight clearly do not understand it. That's what it is. You guys just don't understand what this code is about. And how they code the same number in every single ritual. Every single story is coded with the same number. Every single one. Anything that's related to coronavirus, somehow, some way, it's been coded around the number 56. But you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you for watching.